Maoist News fans, Chris Sims of Sun Media is still going on her anti-education, anti-science tangent about the museum in Ottawa, the Museum of Science and Technology that added a sex education section, and saying that family groups were really upset about this. She said it contained naked kids, a forest of dildos, and contraceptives. What she failed to mention was the fact that these were multiple images showing the reproductive growth of a human being over its entire life cycle. And the forest of dildos was in fact actually sex education, explaining what things are, because if you don't explain them, kids aren't going to understand. They're going to come up with some really, really weird things. And teaching how to use contraceptives, all necessary part of sexual education. Now what she's saying is that family groups are very, very angry about this, and they've been very loud, and they want the place shut down. Now I think by family groups, I think she means right-wing Christian organizations, because that's pretty much a code word for them. The pavilion is called Sex and Sex, a tell-all exhibit on loan from the Montreal Science Centre, another reputable source of science. Now, the Conservative Heritage Minister of the government, James Moore, seems to have a problem with it. If the public expresses some concern about what they are doing, either financially or on the programming side, then it's their job to represent the public's interest. And it's not always black and white. There's a lot of gray area, and the Museum of Science and Technology has encountered this gray area. Now, just to let you know, Minister, science is not a gray area. Whether or not you bow to right-wing Christian groups that are trying to take education away from people for the sake of forwarding their own religious agenda is also not a gray area, which is exactly what you're playing into. As a Minister of Heritage, you should be defending our right to education, not questioning whether or not you should take the outlandish claims of a few right-wing Christian groups passing themselves off as caring about the family and not revealing their true Christian fascist nature. Something completely different. This is them forcing their agenda on the rest of us. If they don't want to be educated and they don't want their kids to be educated, well, I guess that's fine, although refusing to educate your children in sexual matters will lead to things like the southern United States, and I don't care to go there. They're infringing on our right to have sexual education, our right to give sexual education to our children. She is forgetting to mention that no one is forced to go to this. People can choose not to go in. It's not mandatory. They don't have any more right to decide how I get to raise my children than I get to say how they raise theirs. This is a very scary thing that's starting to show up in Canada. What we're starting to get now is a Christian Taliban-like mentality that previously we only saw in the United States. The extreme right in this country are starting to take a turn forward. And it's not just the old usual, white supremacists out in Alberta. They're starting to take over other provinces and coming at us from a religious angle, which is even more dangerous than white supremacy. Something in this country has to stop, because a bunch of Jesus freaks don't have the right to tell other people how to get a scientific education if they seemingly want to let anyone have one at all.